Hi all, this is your Professor Ian. Congratulations. You've almost completed English 1B. If you're still watching these videos and turning in work, then you've almost completed it probably. So anyways, I'm about halfway finished marking your third papers. So far they're pretty good. It was a challenging paper. Those were complex texts. I was asking you to do some outside research. So far so good. People are turning in some interesting analysis. So, let's keep it up to the last paper. Let's keep pushing ourselves, try to work with some text, do some analysis, pay close attention to textual details, that kind of stuff. So I'm still working on the letters to the reader. I probably won't get to them until later this week. Sorry about that. I've been picking away at them, but they're kind of on the back burner. I want to get the papers back and other things finished first. I'll have the papers finished by Wednesday, hopefully. And for those of you who've received your papers back already, you will have noticed, hopefully, that I gave you video feedback. Please do check the feedback area if you didn't see a link or anything, because there's a mark, breakdown of your mark, and then comments on your paper. But in the comments box, there's also a link to video feedback. So please do check that out. There should be also audio, like a transcript. Okay, so hopefully all that is available. If not, please contact me. So before I get into what's coming up in the last week and a half of the course, let me remind you of one thing. There's still bonus marks available, right? So you could do a report on the librarian's talk that I posted to an announcement late last week. You could do that report on The Road, right, on the movie. And I posted a link on, what was that, Friday, to YouTube version of the movie. Not great quality, part of it's missing, but most of it's there, and it's good enough quality that it's watchable. I checked it out. It's watchable, and you can see the differences, some of the interesting differences and changes they make. One of the things that I don't like about the movie version actually is the music. Some of the music choices I found irritating. It should be a gray and silent world. Instead, they have these like swelling music at points. Anyways, something to think about as you're reading it, the way they're kind of changing the story in some ways like that. Or you could take a final draft of your final, or a draft, doesn't have to be the final draft, a draft of your final paper to the Writing Center for tutoring. And that last one I have to confirm with, because I heard that the Success Center is staying open for the last week and a half of regular semester in May. So until May 13th, I heard they were staying open to help students during these crazy times. So I'll confirm that, but I think they're open for tutoring, so you can still get that bonus mark. Remember, you can get up to 5 bonus marks in the class, any combination of work. So anyway, this last week and a half of the course is all about essay number 4. Remember that we officially end this course because it's either hybrid or online. We don't do final exam period when you do a hybrid or online course. Since we started that way, we will still end on Wednesday, May 13th. So all your stuff is due then, not Sunday as usual. Okay, so I've given you a breakdown of our work in the table below in the comments. Just a different way to look at it than in the module. So I've given it to you in chronological order, how you should be turning things in. So start with that. We'll start our final exam on Wednesday, May 6th, and that'll wrap up on Saturday, May 9th. And then your central text study guide is due on the 10th, Sunday the 10th. We'll start our peer editing for essay number 4 on the 10th, Sunday, May 10th. That'll end on Tuesday, May 12th. So that's not a lot of time for the peer editing, so keep that in mind. There's also a final discussion forum starting on May 10th, Sunday, May 10th, and ending on Wednesday, May 13th. And then your final paper and the final letter to the reader is due on Wednesday, May 13th. And all this, of course, is at 11:59 p.m. The deadline's as usual. So how I see this week going, right now you should have a very firm grasp on what your final paper is going to be about, right? A central text picked out and a kind of rhetoric that you're going to work on, right? So remember, think about it like you're taking over the course and you're replacing my central text, The Road, and that the kind of rhetoric I decide to focus on, apocalyptic rhetoric, and you're changing that for something else, right? basically, if you imagine the course, you're taking over the course, you're keeping that first unit, which is about classic rhetoric stuff, you're keeping the fourth part, which is about research papers, and you're just changing the middle bit. So what would you focus on if you were teaching this? And there's all kinds of different rhetoric you could use as a case study, and then you would choose an appropriate central text. And it doesn't have to be super long. It could be a music video, right? It doesn't have to be super long, just something you could sink your teeth into and do some analysis of. Anyways, so I would hope that you have a really firm idea of what your final paper project is about by now. If you don't, you should come and see me today, right? We should discuss this. Last week you did a proposal, which hopefully helped you get those ideas going. I also sent out a student sample paper over the weekend, so check that out. You can see what someone else did. It's a little bit different, but it's almost the same essay prompt. It's just slightly different. So that means that you should be doing the research right now, the planning. You should be putting together your Wakelet study guide project, right? That's meant to help you organize the research and think about how you would do this project and use this text to discuss your topic. So you're putting that together as you're doing your research. Submit your final exam version of that for the presentation, the study guide presentation. And basically this is like a peer editing session for your Wakelet project, like we did in week 14 with that other Wakelet project. It's almost the same, right? So post that, then you should start working on your paper, right? Start on your rough draft, start organizing, start putting stuff together, thinking about paragraph structure, be working on that. Get some feedback on your study guide from people, revise that a bit, turn that in for Sunday, use the information, maybe look at what other people are doing, do that kind of stuff. Get your rough draft together of your fourth paper, post that by Sunday. Get some feedback on that, revise that quickly. There's a quick turnaround time with the final paper because you'll post it on Sunday, you'll get feedback from peers hopefully by Tuesday, and then the next day, Wednesday, it's due. So you have like a 24-hour turnaround time. So you should be revising it during that period too, and finishing off ideas and stuff, right? During that period of peer editing, and then also commenting in the week 17 discussion forum starting on Sunday. And that's just a wrap up for the course. I just want you to reflect on what your favorite text of this semester was and why. Okay, and so that's how I see the work unfolding for the last week and a half. It's there's some quick turnaround time, and I'm sure you have other projects due, but you can all handle this workload, I'm sure. So I'll post more videos this week about the projects, about anything that comes up, and I want to really devote some of these videos to answering any questions you might have about these projects. So please do email me with any questions that you have about any of these tasks, any of these projects that we're working on. If you don't ask something, I have to assume that you completely understand the instructions, right? I have no other way of knowing unless you ask. So please do ask. And here's the thing: if you have a question about something, I guarantee someone else is thinking the same thing. So please, for the love of all that's holy, please email me with any questions, no matter how small you think they are, or how unimportant or whatnot. Okay. So that's it for now. Please do email me if you have any questions or concerns. Remember, I have office hours Monday to Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. So please do get a hold of me one way or another. Bye-bye.